go back to our guest line. If you happen to be watching us on QSportsTalk.com, you see our next guest, Shay Barker, class of 2026 kicker from Kennett High School in Pennsylvania. Shay, thanks so much for coming on, and congratulations on your commitment. Let's start right there. Why Syracuse?
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me here. Syracuse is just a great fit overall. The coaching staff, Coach Ricky Brumfield. I really emphasize great coaches are great coaches, but great people is like what I really look for. And getting to build relationships with the coaches is like my number one priority. And that's about it. And they just ticked off all the boxes, and the visit really, sealed it for me.
When I think high school football, kicking is usually the one thing that doesn't get thought about much in high school football. When did you start kicking in football, and how did you realize you were able to do this?
I started kicking the summer before my freshman season. My brother is a kicker as well, and he kind of got me into it. I played soccer growing up, like most kickers probably. So, but he was able to kind of teach me the basics. And then from then on, I started working with other coaches and stuff, and progressed a lot over the past, I would say, 6 to 8 months. And I think right now I'm very proud of how much I've progressed.
You brought up a moment ago that, great coaches are great coaches, but you're looking to play for great people as well. And I think that's one of the things that has stood out to all of us here in town about Fran Brown, that, he's not just a coach. He seems to genuinely care about his players and genuinely care about this community. What have your interactions with him been like? And, you touched on some of the coaches that you've met and started to build a relationship with. Can you speak to that a little bit more, though, about the relationships that you're building with this coaching staff?
Yeah, so when I talked with Coach Brown at the end of my official visit, one thing that he really emphasized was treating specialists the same way you treat everybody else. And specialists, you get one play, and if you mess up, you can't go back out onto the field and redeem yourself. So he emphasizes to the coaches and the rest of the team, don't put the kickers and punters down. They get one chance. And if you miss in practice, he emphasizes to the players, bring this kid up, don't put him down. And that was a really, really big I really wanted to hear that from him. And because you don't want to play for a team, you don't want to be miserable in practice if you're missing a lot, having a bad day or whatever. You want to feel like you belong there, and you want to feel happy. So
that's a great point. And, being a kicker, I would imagine, listen, you're obviously very gifted physically, and, we'll talk here in a little bit about your range, but I'm hearing that you're able to make good from 60 yards out, and that's physical talent. As a kicker, how do you work on, the psychological aspect of it? As you said, missing a kick, being able to bounce back the next time you go out there. Is that something that you can work on? Or I guess, how do you deal with that when you have, we all have failures in sports. How do you deal with failure?
No, definitely. Being a kicker is probably one of the most mentally tasking positions in all of sports. As a kicker, you just got to think it's just a miss. It's not the end of the world. And the sky's not falling down on you. And everybody misses. So if you just have a good mindset, that's the past, I would say 4 or 5 months, I've really put a lot of focus into the mental side of the game, which has allowed me to kind of keep my head, stay locked in. And me and my family really touched, all we used to care about was results, but now all we care about is the process. So if your process is very, thought through, you're going to do really, really well. Results don't matter in the end.
How much did playing indoors come into it? You get half your games, out of the elements, and you only get one shot. How much did that play into your decision?
That's huge. It's as a kicker, your number one enemy is the wind. You don't got to worry about it. So obviously during practice and away games, you have to prepare. But playing in the dome is definitely perfect weather perfect weather half the year, and that's a big that's exciting to hear as a specialist. So Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your range and I guess game on the line. What is the furthest you feel comfortable being able to kick a field goal from at this point?
I would say, like, as a kicker, it's really important to be consistent from like 50, 55 and in. Like, kicking all the 65s and all that's cool. But if you're consistent from 50 and in, you're gonna get money. You're gonna get paid. So I wouldn't say like range matters as much as people think it does. And consistency, that's really all that matters.
What are you working on right now as you get ready, for your last year and get ready for Syracuse in 2026? What are you working on as a kicker?
Over the summer, really, I'm putting a lot of focus in the weight room and trying to get stronger so I'm ready when I step on campus. I think my strength on the field is there, but I gotta prepare myself for the workouts and stuff because it's challenging. And a lot of people do struggle when they step on campus. So I kind of want to avoid that to the best that I can.
What's something you would like fans to know about you as a person, maybe, and not as a football player? Is there anything that's important to you, I guess, off the field?
I would say I'm very, very humble. I try my best to stay within myself and I don't try and like rub my commitment into other people's faces. I kind of just stay true to myself. And I'm not really I'm not cocky at all. That's what I would say.
Just come here, put your head down, do your job. I think you're gonna fit in very nicely here. Shay, thanks so much for the time. Good luck. Your last year here in high school as you wrap things up, and we can't wait to see you next year.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Shay Barker joining us here on the show. And with that, we will hit our final timeout. We'll be back right after this and wrap things up on a Wednesday edition of Orange Nation.